And hello and welcome to Graz in Austria and the final of the qualifying round-robin games in the World Championship of American Football. I'm Mike Carlson. We've been bringing you both of the groups, and we now know some of the results. The blue side is tails. Group A was won by the United States. They beat Mexico in a game we showed you last night. And Group B was won by Canada, who won a thriller earlier today here in Graz, 31-27 over Japan. So the U.S. will play Canada for the championship, and Japan will play Mexico for third place. Today's game is for third place in Group B. Austria will take on France. Austria, the hometown team, in red, and France in white. We should be expecting a pretty evenly matched game. So still no score as the Austrians come back on offense. Gross is going to throw, and he's going to throw deep, and he's got a receiver, and he's going to look for a flag. The ball was there. Dieplinger had his man beaten. He basically ran up his back. Ryapin in the coverage, but that was as close as they've come. There's just about 4 minutes left in this first quarter. And Gross has yet to complete a pass. It's 0 for 5. Tell you what, that's pass interference in anybody's book. Well, Gross has his first completion, a little flare out of the backfield to Grind, and Grind's close to a first down. Looks like they're going to mark it for a first down. Nice bit of downfield blocking by Thomas Tippold. French offense talking things over on the sideline. 1st and 10 for Austria at their own 47. Another big hole, this time on the ground for Grind. He's got about 5 yards into French territory. Good job of picking his way through the hole, keeping his balance. Not very explosive, but runs with his head up, sees where he's going. Takes advantage of his blocking. 2nd down and 5, the French 48. And again, it's Grind. And a good leap at the line of scrimmage, and he gains about 7 down to the 41 for another first down. And the Austrians are doing it on the ground. Take a look on the inside, because that's where this starts. Nice job.
Play, dead ball, personal foul. Offense, 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
No. Didn't even see that one. And they didn't tell us who the personal foul was on, but nice job by Zupardi, the French linebacker, of filling that hole and making the tackle. Gain of 5, though, is negated, and the ball goes back to the Austrians' own 46-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10. Well, they swing it out. And Grind's got some more yardage. Picks up about 10 and another first down. So Gross doing a nice job of looking the defense downfield before the blockers can come out. Good form and Well, he got taken down, but he held his balance. Alexander Milanovic did a nice job of holding his balance and getting that block in. 1st and 10, back into French territory, and again on the ground. Again, Grind leaping over at the line of scrimmage and inside the 40 at the 39-yard line. And there's another flag down. Forgeo is down and they're extending his leg. I wonder if the flag was for something done to him. Still discussing the penalty.
Illegal crackback block, number 15. 15-yard penalty from the end of the
Well, it's Ponce de Leon who was called for the penalty on the crackback. Well, and there's the injury as well, but I'm not sure about it. He came in the front from the wide receiver position. Well, borderline, but as we've said a number of times this tournament, it's protect the players is the priority in the International Football at American Football Federation, and you can't argue with that as long as you're consistent with it. So they're back again to the 46, and this time it's 1st and 20, and Gross again is going to go to the air and go deep, and he has the receiver, and it's incomplete. Oh, it looked like it was there. Thomas Hyder, who's also the backup quarterback, had it. Looked like he had it in his hands. Good protection. Gross has lots of time. He spots his receiver. This is a great ball. Right on target. And Hyder loses it. Loses it when he hits the ground. Had it against his chest with one hand, and it popped free. And that's another bad break for the Austrians. And that's really the best pass Gross has thrown in this game so far. 2nd and 20. Dieplinger, they set up a little tunnel screen, and there's some space for him. And Dieplinger's down to about the 42-yard line. It's a pickup of 12. It'll bring up a 3rd and 8. The short stuff is working for Austria. There's the blocking. Well, the blocking wasn't perfect. Nice job by Vidalier of getting through before he could get blocked. He's 3rd down and 8 now. France sending an extra rusher, but Gross isn't bothered. He makes another completion, this time to the tight end, Stanzel. I use the term tight end loosely, but this is much more impressive stuff now from Christoph Gross. And Stanzel way open. Turns, puts the head, protects the ball. So important, and fights for the extra yardage. And that's a 1st down and 10 at the 30-yard line. And Grind, well, he's brought down from behind. Breaking through from the outside was the linebacker, Giovanni Nangui. And that's going to bring us to the end of the 1st quarter. There's no score in the 1st quarter, but Austria are moving the ball, trying to overcome penalties. We'll be back after the break, so don't go away. Welcome back to the 2nd quarter. World Championships of American Football on Eurosport. I'm Mike Carlson. This is the game for 3rd place in the qualifying Group B in Graz. And the hometown Austrians are on the move against France. No score in the 1st quarter. Christoph Gross now rolling out. Hits Hies. Florian Hies from the Raiffeisen Vikings, the Vienna Vikings. loses his balance a little, transfers the ball, and knocked out of bounds by Steve Berton. Pickup of 7, 3rd down and 3. And that's Hyder. He missed that long pass earlier on. He's got the first down now. I'm not quite sure what Remy Fournier was signaling. And no, but it's certainly a first down. And again, a good job. The Austrian offensive line is very well drilled. They're doing a good job of protecting Gross. It's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Four wide receivers. Gross, well, a little bit of pressure, but he stood in the pocket. Not quite sure what went on there because Pruler went down. But incidental contact is what they're calling. Now, there was no one there to catch the pass as Pruler went sprawling in the end zone. And that's going to make it 2nd and 10. Pruler missed the signals in the huddle. Now, fine. Well, there it is. And it's tangled feet, so definitely is incidental contact. Grine tries to break it to the outside, now cuts back in. He might have picked up a yard. He was met by Tanguy. Sorry, Nanguy. Tanguy is the painter. Surrealist painter. There's nothing surreal about these guys. So 3rd down, and they're calling it 10. Gross still has time. This time just can't connect. Intended for Dieplinger. He was there if the ball's low. And Kramberger is on the field to attempt a field goal. .36-yard kick. It's up, and it's going to hook wide to the left. And France will take over on the 19, 1st and 10, having held Austria and kept them off the board. 10 minutes to play in this first half. Still no score between Austria and France. The winner of this game will play Germany for 5th place in the tournament. The loser will play Australia for 7th place. It looks closer from that angle than it did from behind, doesn't it? Didn't get good foot to it. He's leaning back. Good kick through the ball. And hooks it to the left. First down for France. Some space on the outside. A couple of nice little moves for Larocque. They get him coming in motion. Try to get some blockers out in front. That's actually a pretty good job on the defense by Schreiner, shedding blockers and holding the edge. So Larocque picked up 5, call it 4, 2nd and 6. Up the middle and driven back is Brezaz Latil, to give him his full name. Plays for the Centaurs de Grenoble. Remember, nothing like that ice pack. So third down and 2 at the 27-yard line. Quick out. Well, he was there. He was there, but not good communication between Rabo and Sproul. I'm not sure whether Rabo just ran the route a little too deep or was slow looking over, but Sproul definitely led him by far too much, and that's going to bring up a punt. Brezaz is the punter, of course. Short, high kick. Ponce de Leon's got the corner. It's going to stay on the outside. It's going to be pushed out of bounds by Dimitri Kiernan. But a return of almost 20 yards, and the ball is on the French 46. So Austria will start off back in, and there's a flag back in French territory.
Personal foul, face mask, number 22.
So it's on Kiernan for a face mask. His back was to us from our camera angle. Let's take a look. There's Kiernan on the chase. No, couldn't really see it, as I said, from behind. But the helmet came flying off and the flag came flying out. And there you can see why. Yank. And so it's a good call, that. And that's going to move the ball down to the 31-yard line. Austria will start off 1st and 10 on the French 31. We have another player down, injured. And they brought the card off, and that looks fairly serious. And you see what happened was the second player falling on him when he was down. Nothing much you could do about that. Kevin de Michaelis, the linebacker, is the man. He went down to the ground, and then a second player just fell on him while his leg was still bent. And that could be a serious ankle or knee. It's warm here in the evening in Austria. De Michaelis plays for the Canonniers de Toulon.
Okay.
So Austria 1st and 10 at the 31. Gross. Who thought about running, and now he's going to put one up into the end zone. It's going to be a jump ball and a fight, and it's caught but out of bounds by Ponce de Leon. Boy, was that a jump ball, and de Leon went up for it and beat Dos Santos, but he was out of bounds when he did it. Funny, almost every team in this tournament uses a fairly similar offensive alignment. Variations on the pistol, usually 4 wide receivers. The Austrians you've seen using a sort of power pistol formation with a lead back in front of the tailback, quarterback in front of the tailback as well, which is the definition of the pistol. Nobody playing straight T anymore, or its pro set variations. And another player down. So the French are dropping Nangui, that is, and De Michaelis, another linebacker. Zupardi, another linebacker. So that would be 3 linebackers gone. Or 3 linebackers hurt at least. Zupardi's back. Depth, such an important issue in this tournament where you're playing 3 games in the space of 5 or 6 days. Really puts a strain on players, and I think that's something they're going to have to look at and, and consider the time frame. Obviously, they can't have a hugely long tournament, but There's that power pistol formation. And it works again. Up the middle this time is Nerad. And Nerad from the Graz Giants, the local boy, was their best runner in the previous game that we did here on Eurosport with the Austrians. When we saw them lose to Canada. They lost to Japan 24-6. They lost to Canada 36-14 in a game that was fairly close for a good while. And that's one of the things you see in this tournament, is that the quality shows through as you get into the second half. And basically a team like Austria needs to play a perfect game and get a few breaks as well. Nerad busting through. He runs right into Vidalier, who makes the stop, but not before Nerad's picked up another first down. Take a look at the blocking in front of him, because it's excellent. Just great execution on the second level as well.
Timeout. Injured player.
And another player's down. I think that's probably just Vidalier being shook up on the tackle. Hopefully not a concussion. But that was a hell of a hit. So this gives the French defense a little time to regroup, because right now Nerad's put through 2 10-yard runs back to back. The Austrian head coach is Rick Rhodes, and offensive coordinator is Skip Albano. So 1st and 10 at the 11, and it's Nerad again. And Nerad, well, this time he's met by Zupardi closing down, and that's going to hold him to a pickup of about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 at the 7-yard line. Check the lead block. There's nothing they could do about Zupardi. Good job of filling the hole by Mimouni, the linebacker, and that's where Heiss.
40-second clock, please. 40-second clock.
That's where Heiss had to address his block, was to Mimouni, and that left. There you see no score. Clock running about halfway through the second quarter. And Austria looking to get on the board, become the first team to get on the board in this game. And Nerad is thrown for a loss. That play there was nothing there. Nerad's going to lose about 5. That's going to make it 3rd and 11 back at the 12-yard line. Zupardi, it is again, reading that play well from that outside linebacker spot and coming up to make the play. Looks like we've got a timeout.
Team timeout, France. First timeout.
That's odd. 3rd and long. I'm not sure why the French would need to consult this. You know that they're going to go to the air. But who am I to argue about that? So France has taken a timeout. Austria will face a 3rd down and 11 at the 12-yard line. It's been a fairly interesting game so far. Both teams sort of stymieing each other's offense, which is sort of the problem that's getting an offense to work, although the Austrians have shown the ability to run the ball. There's Rick Rhodes and Skip Albano. Rick Rhodes used to coach at Southern Illinois and coaches the Graz Giants as well as the Austrian national team. Lots of time for Gross, and he's going to throw that one high. Didn't really have anybody open. You see the French were back in coverage. They decided not to put maximum pressure on Gross, but simply to drop back in coverage. There was nobody for him to throw to. He had to throw it away, and Kramberger will come on to try another field goal. That kick is up and curving through, but just made it inside that left upright. The hook is on for Kramberger, but that one's good. And Austria are on the board, and they've taken a 3-0 lead over France. 29-yard field goal for Kramberger, and Austria are up 3-0. Take another look. Again, he's leaning backwards and not getting the full body into it. He gets good leg on it otherwise. So our first score of the game, 6:21 to play in the first half. Austria 3, France 0. You're watching the World Championships on Eurosport. So still work being done on Giovanni Nangui on the sideline. But it doesn't look like it's a serious injury. It looks like he will be back in. Austria lead France 3-0 in the final qualifying game in Group B here in Graz, Austria. Winner of this game will play Germany for 5th place in the tournament, and the loser will play Australia for 7th place. The U.S. will play Canada on Sunday. We'll be bringing you that game on Eurosport, and before that on Saturday, we'll be bringing you Mexico against Japan for 3rd place. And all bottled up on the kick return is De Laval. Good coverage by the Austrians. De Laval is, in fact, going to lose a yard on the return. Facing backwards, turns, heads back, turns around, heads back. Maybe gained a yard in the end. Let's see. They've marked 26, so that bed really is getting a lot of ice. 1st and 10 at 26 for France. Sproul, little shovel pass to Kiernan. And Kiernan is brought down almost immediately. The first man there was Schilcher, the linebacker. 55. Watch Schilcher as he sees that one. He's out there in that coverage. He's keying on the back, coming out of the backfield. Does a good job keeping his responsibilities. Seuss came in to help him. 2nd and 11. That lost 1 yard. Home movies there. And just throwing that one away is Sproul. Larocque was the only receiver near it, and actually he could have tried to get it into Larocque there. A little more touch. That's going to bring up 3rd and 11 now from the 25 for France. Right now, Austria's defense is looking pretty good, and their offense as well has been dominating this quarter. 2 good drives, both culminating in field goal attempts. Only one of the field goals good, so they lead 3-0. 3rd and 11 at the 25. Fake. Sproul. Durant. He's met immediately and knocked out of bounds by Neusser. And that's going to be well short of a first down. It'll bring up a 4th and 5 or 6 around the 30-yard line. Brezaz will come in to punt for the French. Well, he sees his receiver, but it's basically too long. He's there. But by the time that he's been seen and Sproul's delivered the ball, there's no chance to turn upfield. If you get it out to him before you take those steps to the outside, he's got a chance to turn and play one-on-one with the defender. Low punt, takes a high bounce, and it's going to be downed there by Kevin DeMichaelis. So he's back in the game as well. And Austria will take over at their own 30-yard line with a 1st and 10. The Austrians having a good time in the huddle. First and 10 at the 30. Single setback. Gross. And nowhere to run for Grind. He's going to lose a yard. Nangui, the guy who was in there, so that taping job did him some good. Rick Rhodes coached Troy State to a National Division II championship back in the 80s, I believe. Well, they call it a loss of 2, a 2nd and 12 between the 28 and 29. Gross trying to set up a screen, and that one's batted back by Nangui. I tell you, the French linebackers are playing a pretty good game. They're not getting much from their front four, but the linebackers, Nangui, Zupardi in particular, Di Michaelis, they've made some plays. Mamouni. I said front four. I should have said front three, obviously. They've been playing actually a lot in a three-man front nickel, so it's a 3-3.
Timeout, Austria. First team timeout.
So that's strange. They took a timeout and it just got through after the play had been called. 3:54 to play in this first half. Austria talking things over. Otis, my man. Booker T on the organ. Memphis Horns. They don't make music like that anymore. Third and 12 now for Austria. Gross. Incomplete. And there's a flag down, which looks like it's going to be interference. De Leon was the intended receiver, and Dos Santos was the defender. It's like it's a Spanish game here.
Pass interference, defense, number 9, 15-yard penalty.
You know,
first down.
There was one earlier I thought was interference. It wasn't. That one is very borderline. It's a good break for the Austrians because that ball was not really catchable. It was going to be in front of him anyway. So it's a nice break for the Austrians, and it'll be a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And Hyder is now moved to quarterback. So Gross is getting a little rest, and Hyder is in at quarterback. No gain for Grind. Di Michaelis in on the stop. Hyder, who plays for the Danube Dragons. That's complete. Caught by Pruller. Not pretty, but effective. And that's going to be a 20-yard gain down to the 36-yard line. And Hyder just sees his receiver and then delivers. And Pruller brings it in. So 1st and 10 at the 36 for Austria.
Timeout. Team France, second team timeout.
And the French want to take a timeout with 2:41 to play in the half. And Austria, who've had the two best drives of the game so far in this quarter, are putting together a third.
Please set the game clock to 2:41. 2:41, thank you.
Told you. First and 10 for Austria. Hyder, a little miscommunication there. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to get forward for 4 or 5 yards. Looked like he was looking to hand that one off. I don't think that was a fake. No, he just bobbled it, couldn't get the handoff in time. And Grind does a nice job of blocking in front of him to give him an opening there and pick up those 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 at the 32 for Austria. Looks like a pass coming. And so it is. Ponce de Leon knocked out of bounds by Dos Santos. But it's another first down for Austria. It'll be 1st down and 10 at the 22. And Dos Santos just knocks De Leon out of bounds. And Austria once again are on the move. First and 10 at the 22. Grind. And he's smothered after a pickup of about 2. Anthony Cheron on the tackle, plays for the Kangaroos de Pessac. That's a great name for a team. 2nd and 8 at the 20. Now they're calling it 9, but I'm calling it 8. Flags everywhere, pointing everywhere.
79 offense.
And it's Gruber is called for the false start. And that'll make it 2nd and 13. Ball marked back at the 25. And a little bit of twitching going on there. On the left side of the line, Gruber's 79. Hyder, loads of time, has a receiver into coverage and intercepted in the end zone by Forgeo. And Austria 3 times down into French territory, and they've come away with only 3 points in this quarter. Hyder looking, thought he had the receiver. Forgeron just got in front of him for the interception, and France will take over at the 20-yard line. Forgeron also plays for the Kangaroos, so a big series for the Kangaroos. I believe those are the only 2 players from the Kangaroos on this French team. Nowhere to go for Laurent Marceline, the veteran running back who we remember from NFL Europe days. They made a late season comeback with the flash to La Courneuve. Played in the French Championship game, which we brought you on Eurosport a few weeks ago. Diamond helmet. 2nd and 10, no gain on the play. Kiernan plowing forward. It's going to have a first down and more. Pick up about 14, but with the clock running, I think that's going to be just about the end of it for the first half. And it's the first half basically dominated, I think, by the Austrians, especially in the second quarter. They had 3 shots at scoring and could only manage 3 points from it. Could that come back to haunt them later on in the game if France can get their offense together, which so far they haven't been able to do? But at halftime, here in Graz, in front of about 5,000 fans at the World Championship of American Football, it's Austria 3 and France nothing. We'll be back. And welcome back for the second half here in Graz. Austria lead France 3-0 in the final qualifying game in Group B at the World Championship of American Football. I'm Mike Carlson. Kickoff by Kramberger is taken by LaRocque. And LaRocque's broken a tackle and has some running room, and he's up to about the 44, 45-yard line. Nice return by LaRocque of 26 yards. And France will take over at the 45, 1st and 10. Story of the first half. If you're just joining us after a fairly uneventful first quarter, Austria came alive in the second quarter offensively, had 3 good drives, got it deep into French territory each time, but could come away with only 3 points. A missed field goal, a field goal, and an interception in the end zone. And Austria lead 3-0. Marceline on first down, 6 yards, down to the 49. Seuss with the tackle. Now, the winner of this game, as we've said before, will play Germany for 5th place in the tournament, and the loser will play Australia for 7th. Meanwhile, the 3rd place game between Japan and Mexico will be bringing you Saturday on Eurosport, and the gold medal game, USA against Canada, on Sunday right here on Eurosport. Pass complete underneath. Sprawl is hitting Durand, and that's going to be a first down. Pick up about 10 down to the 39. Real feast of football on Eurosport as our continuing coverage of the Arena League continues, as it would if it's continuing. So you'll also get an Arena League game over the weekend, as well as both the medal games from this tournament. Injury timeout on the field. Coming off is Florian Hoyder. You know, watching some of these players, I really do miss the fact that there's no NFL Europe and there's no place for the guys who stand out here to improve their game, you know. And that's an interception. Sprawl throws it away, and Tuch has picked it up at the 5-yard line, and Austria will take over deep in their own territory after that pick by Tuch. Squall steps up in the pocket. And Tuch just basically out fights. That's the only word for it, Durand, for the ball. Durand has the position, should be able to make that catch, but the ball, well, it's a little overthrown, and Tuch is the one who's there. So Austria cancel another French drive and take over on their own 5-yard line. Gross is back at quarterback. Nerad doesn't get anything. Vidalier on the tackle. It's a great beard. But as I was saying, you know, I've seen a number of guys here that you would love to get onto a developmental roster, bring along through NFL Europe. You know, some well-drilled offensive linemen who just need to get bigger and get better coaching. Gross. Good ball to Ponce de Leon for a first down. Gain of 10 up to the 15-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Austria there. And that ball had a bit of zip on it. But see the mechanics, just there's no overarm there. It's throwing from a sort of 3/4 motion. Works for Jeff George, of course. So 1st and 10 at the 15. Oh, Nerad stops in the backfield and picks up maybe a yard. Up to the 16, call it 2nd and 9. Good job by Zappardi of coming in there. The French linebackers have been very good in this game. A lot of credit to the defensive coordinator, Bob Tucker. Their front three doesn't get much attention, but they are doing what they're supposed to, which is to open up alleys for those linebackers to make plays. Delayed pass rush, not much pressure. Gross throwing deep into double coverage, and again complete to Ponce de Leon, and again out of bounds. That's his second catch that he's made at least a yard out of bounds. Who's that guy with the Jets jersey? So it just goes down as a long incompletion, and that's going to make it 3rd and 9. Oh, the French are bringing defensive back. That was Barton on the corner blitz, and he got to Gross before he could even get the ball away. Ball just fluttered out there, incomplete. The French were sending 6 on that. And it was Barton off the corner who made the contact with Gross. Take a look, he's going to come from the left side of your screen. So they send the linebacker and the defensive back. Does a good job of breaking up that play. Gross is looking at the receiver, doesn't see Barton coming. And it's incomplete. 4th and 9, Kramberger to punt. Brezaz, who punts for the French, is back to return the kick, which is an interesting combination. And Brezaz takes it at the 47 and has some running room. And Brezaz has broken 3 up the middle. And Brezaz has a lot of space now. A great block on Kramberger, and Brezaz down to the 5-yard line. So the French will take over at just the point the Austrians intercepted that ball. And what a block on Kramberger. Let's take a look and see how this happened. Brezaz beats the first man, which you have to do when you're returning punts, then cuts away from the pursuit. There's the block on Kramberger, and indicated by Borda. Borda saying, yeah, don't bring that here. I wouldn't be so demonstrative if I knocked over a kicker, but Kramberger got his bell rung. So the big punt return by Brezaz, 47 yards on the return, down to the 5-yard line. And the Austrian fans want their defense to step up. A lot of these players came down from the mountains to play football. First and goal at the 5, Marceline. Marceline spins, gets about a yard. It will be second and goal from the 4. Stoyaspal and Kuchek made on the tackle. Nice job of stacking things up by Kuchek. Second and goal at the 4. In the corner, it's Doble, and Doble has the touchdown. We saw him in the French final as well, playing for the Centaurs from Grenoble, and Anthony Doble has put France in the lead, 6-3. The pass from Sprawl on the fade, just puts it to the outside, where Doble's the only one who can get it. And the big receiver goes up and brings it down, 6'4", 205 pounds. Anthony Doble, and France are up 6-3. And there is a flag down. It's obviously after the touchdown.
Following the touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct number 8. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So Doble is called for probably taunting or excessive celebration. I didn't really see anything too awful in what he did. Here you go. Brezaz, who had the punt return, will also hold. Good hold, as it wasn't a great snap. And the kick is good. Nekili is the kicker, but Brezaz does the punting, holds for the place kicks, and returns punts. And it was his 47-yard punt return that set up this touchdown by Doble. And let's see if we can see what Doble did that was worth 15 yards of penalty. I hope you enjoyed it, whatever it was. Well, there it is. He got a penalty for telling somebody that he misses them. In English, no less.
The 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct is now assessed.
So if you're the object of Anthony's affections and you're listening, send us an email and let us know who you are and what he's trying to do. It's cost his team 15 yards. France will kick off from the 15-yard line. Nekili gets good foot on that. Gets a good bounce down to about the 17-yard line where Ponce de Leon's got it. And Ponce is up to the 36 or so. So a 20-yard return for him. And Austria will take over at their own 36 with a 1st and 10 trailing 7-3. I love that. You saw that when Zupardi just banged into Ponce de Leon and then patted him on the helmet. 1st and 10 at the 36 for Austria. Gross. And Dieplinger can't hang on. A little bit behind him, only could get one hand on it. That would be a tough catch to make. Turning back away from himself. Tony Rayapin, who plays for the Carabine of the University of Montreal in Canada. Second down and 10. It looks like some blitz is coming. Gross is trying to set up a screen, but it's not there, and he's going to have to throw that away. And that was just messed up all the way around. I think Narad might have been trying to go out on the screen, but he had to stop and give a block to Zapardi, who was coming in off the edge. And there was nothing there. So 3rd and 10. Just a 3-man rush, delayed blitz from the French, sending the 4th receiver. And that's Hoffbauer, who's out of bounds with about a 3-yard pickup, and that'll be a 4th and 7 in a punting situation for France. For Austria, excuse me. So the French defense comes up strong, and Kramberger is on to punt. Looks like France appear to be setting up a block, and they are sending quite a few. High kick, short, and fair caught by Brezaz at the 29, so only a 32-yard pump, but no return, and France will take over at their own 29-yard line. 1st and 10 with about 7.5 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter. They lead the Austrians 7-3 in the final game in Graz. The tournament moves to Vienna for the weekend. 7th place game and the bronze medal game on Saturday. 5th place game and the gold medal game on Sunday. We'll be bringing you both medal games here on Eurosport. Japan against Mexico for 3rd place on Saturday. Canada against the U.S. for the gold medal on Sunday. 1st and 10 for Austria on their own 29. Sorry, for France on their own 29. Squall throwing over the middle. He has a receiver open. That's Robbo, and Robbo is gone. Robbo's in the end zone, 71 yards for a touchdown, and the flag flies, which is going to be something for demonstration. But Robbo, whose nickname ought to be the Cop, who plays for the Rouge et Or, the red and gold of the Université de Laval in Quebec, just beat Marcus Krauss. And I'm not sure why he got a penalty for that.
Well,
I'm really not.
Following, we have unsportsmanlike conduct for taunting. That 15-yard penalty.
That's not a taunt, to be honest. That's really not a taunt. You got to lighten up a little bit in this tournament. I mean, you don't want guys doing silly demonstrations or something, but holding the ball out like that is not a taunt. If he rubs it in the guy's face, something like that, that's a taunt. But just holding the ball out is not. It's a celebration. Let him celebrate it. He hasn't been in the end zone much so far in this tournament. Let him enjoy it while he's there. So Nikili. Ooh, good, just inside that right upright. And all of a sudden, France are up 14-3. 71-yard pass from Squall to Rabot. And take another look. Rabot just running that post down the middle. And it's all speed. See, that's not taunting. That's not taunting. A useless 15 yards. So again, Nikili will have to kick off from 15-yard line. But France have built up a 14-3 lead, and as dominant as Austria was in the second period, France has come out just as dominant here in the third. So again, Nikili is kicking off from the 15. He got good leg to it last time and down to about the 16-yard line, and he gets another good kickoff inside the 15, about the 13, and Ponce de Leon, and Leon's coughed it up. Leon has coughed it up. It was hit by Berton. He was hit by Berton. And France has recovered. I didn't see who recovered it. He gets control there. Well, that's Delaval who knocked the ball loose, not Berton. So Delaval knocked the ball loose, and it was Hebel who recovered it. So France has the ball at the Austrian 25-yard line, 1st and 10. And on the turnover, a chance to extend this lead. And Marceline into the line. Second effort is going to come close to a first down. Schneeweiss with the tackle eventually. Marceline just driving the pile. First and 10 at the 15. And that's complete again to Dablo, and he's breaking free, and he's inside the 5-yard line for another first down. Sproul to Dablo, picks up 11, and it'll be 1st and goal at the 4. And all of a sudden, the French offense, which was dormant in the first half, is working. Yes, that's water. Thank you. C'est bon. C'est bon. J'aime l'eau. Austrians, Novanovic trying to keep the crowd in the game as Austria look like they're going to fall way behind in a game that they were pretty much controlling in that second quarter. Ball. Incomplete. Incomplete. It's the signal. Kiernan. Well, I tried. What can I do? Kiernan was rolling over on the ball. What he's saying, basically what the ruling is he didn't have possession when he went out of bounds. He was still juggling the ball in his hands at the time that he went out of bounds. So 2nd down and 4.
Timeout. Team France. First team timeout.
2nd and goal, sorry, at the 4. And the French want to talk it over with 6 minutes to play in this 3rd quarter. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I could see what the official saw. And that's why it's incomplete. That's a tough one. I mean, that's the difference between having possession and not losing it. To me, that's a catch, but then I was a receiver. So. Kiernan plays for the Black Panthers from Thonon-les-Bains. There's 6 players on the French team who play at either the University of Montreal or the University of Laval. And there's one, Franz Dorian, who plays for the Baltic Hurricanes in Kiel in the German league. Marceline puts his head down. Sorry, that was Kiernan, puts his head down and gets about 2 down to the 2-yard line. So it's 3rd and goal at the 2. Keenan's the up back. Marceline is the tailback. Gobler's the only wide receiver. Marceline's upended before he can get into the end zone. It's going to be 4th and goal at the 1. Marceline, yeah, right down at the 1-yard line. So 4th and goal at the 1, and France is going to take the field goal. McKilly coming on. It'll be an 18-yard kick. Brezaz to hold. And it's good. So France take the sure 3, and they now lead Austria 17-3 with 4:40 to play in this 3rd quarter. So there's the score, 17-3, and what a turnaround this has been in the 3rd quarter. The 2nd quarter was all Austria, but they could only come away with 3 points, and then France has made them pay for it here in the 3rd. A long punt return set up a touchdown along the 71-yard TD pass, and now a fumbled kickoff set up gives a field goal on the turnover, and Austria's in a 17-3 hole. McKilly teeing the ball up. And this time he gets to kick from the 30, and he drives that one a yard deep into the end zone. Ponce de Leon, who fumbled the last kick, gets out to about the 15-yard line. And he's gang tackled there. So Austria will take over 1st and 10 at their own 15, and now trails 17-3. Now, there should be a hole there, but there's a couple of guys not blocking for him, as you can see pretty clearly. And on 1st down, Nerad picks up 4. Up to the 19, it'll be 2nd and 6. Good hole up the middle. This was their bread and butter in the 1st half. Nerad picks up about 10 down to the 29-yard line. And that's a 1st down for Austria. This is what was working for them in the 1st half. Just good execution up front with the blocking. First and 10 for Austria. And again, Nerad. But he only picks up a couple, gets to the 31. Call it a pickup of 2. It's going to be 2nd down and 8. Hyder. Oh, he had the receiver and just overthrew him. Heard he was there. Hurdy found that space on the out. Hyder just led him by too much. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 8. Let's see Gross looking on from the sideline. Hyder delivers. It's caught, but there's nowhere to go for Stanzel. And Stanzel's going to be short of a 1st down by about 2 yards. So that'll be a 4th and 2 at the 37. Nice job by Stanzel taking the ball away from Pajazzo. And Austria want a timeout. Nope. They were signaling for it on the bench.
Timeout, Team Austria.
Yep. You could see the coaches signaling for it, although Hyder didn't seem to notice, and finally they decided to take timeout. They were going to go for it on 4th and 2 at their own 37. Maybe they're going to change their minds. I don't know, they're looking for a play. So this is a huge play for Austria, a big gamble, still in the 3rd quarter, 4th down and, well, they're calling it 3, I call it 2, but on their own 37-yard line, Hyder is under pressure. He gets away from the blitz. There's more pressure coming. He's got to get rid of the ball. He's downfield. That could be intercepted, and it is intercepted. Dos Santos with the pick, and that all went bottoms up for the Austrians. France set the rushers. Great job of fighting off 2 blockers by Cheron. And then more pursuit. Hyder gets it off, but that ball was never going to be complete, and France will take over at their own 45-yard line with 1:40 to play in this 3rd quarter. And all of a sudden, the French defense and special teams have been making plays. Marceline on 1st down. Marceline puts the head down and picks up about 6. Kuchek down the bottom of that pile. Marceline's a big, strong runner. So at the 49-yard line, 1st and 10. 2nd and 4. Over the middle, wide open inside, and a 1st down. Durand down to the 35. So all of a sudden, the French offense is starting to tick and click. Marceline on 1st down. Marceline's got a hole. He's up through the middle for about 8 yards down to the 27-yard line, and France is on a roll right now as the 3rd quarter is coming to an end. Marceline starting to pound out some yardage, which could be a tired Austrian defense. And I think that will be the last play of the third quarter. So after 3 quarters, what a turnaround in this game, because France have come from 3-0 down at the half to take a 17-3 lead as the third quarter comes to an end. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this break. You're watching the World Championships of American Football right here on Eurosport 2. And welcome back to Graz and the final quarter of qualifying play in Group B here. France lead Austria 17-3. I'm Mike Carlson, and the winner of this game will go on to play Germany for 5th place in the World Championship tournament. The loser will play Australia for 7th place. Those games will take place in Vienna on Saturday and Sunday as preliminaries to the medal games, which we'll be bringing you on Eurosport as Marceline rushes close to the first down. He gets the first down. It was 2nd and 2. Picks up about 4. Florian Grein has been the best running back. Well, he and Nerad have both been effective in this game for Austria. Looks like his ankle's swollen a bit. Massus. First and 10 at the 23-yard line. And whistles.
Timeout, Team France, second team, timeout.
And that's Bill DeMonier, the referee. Bill was the referee when we did the game in Arusha, Tanzania, the Global Kilimanjaro Bowl, the first game on African soil. I broadcast that on ITV Tanzania, and Bill was the referee for that game, a hugely experienced referee, great teacher of the game as well. Pep talk here for the offensive line. Which Austria is going to need, because France have a 2-touchdown lead and they're deep into Austrian territory, and the Austrians are really going to regret the opportunities they missed in that second quarter when they went deep into French territory 3 times, but only came away with 3 points. Marceline up the middle. He picks up 1 yard. And really, he's just doing it with power right here. It'll be a 2nd and 9 at 22. Incomplete. Intended for Robbo. Putts on the coverage. I don't know how much pleasure it gives me to say that. For France, sorry, Sprawl. Oh, and it's caught. It's Robbo for another touchdown. And that one was up for grabs, and Robbo came down with it. It looked like a dangerous pass to throw, but it's a touchdown for France, 22 yards, and they have opened this game up. Sprawl. Under pressure. just throws it up for grabs, and a badly judged attempt at knocking it away by Putz, who might have been better served just playing the ball, but Putz went to knock it away and missed it, and Robbo came down with the touchdown. Achilles on for the extra point, and it's good, and France have bumped the lead up to 24-3. What a turnaround in the third quarter and the early minutes here of the fourth quarter in Graz. As I said, looked like Putz made an error of judgment. He's got good position. He goes for the block and just can't get there. So what a turnaround in this game. France 24-3 over Austria. Achilles kicks off down to the 8, Hofbauer. Hofbauer's got the sideline. He's ridden out of bounds by Tony Réapin from the University of Montreal. And you can see some dejected faces there on the Austrian bench. It looked so good for them in the first half. They missed a field goal. They threw an interception in the end zone. They could have come away, or they should have come away, really, with at least 13 points in that second quarter. And now, 1st and 10. Well, short pass. Heider still at quarterback for about a yard to Hofbauer. Heider, oh, that ball was there. It should have been caught. Hurdy, well, he got a hand on it. It wasn't a pretty pass, but it got there. Cajazzo was on the coverage. He doesn't deliver the ball as smartly as Gross. That one's right there, actually. And Cajazzo does a nice job of getting into Hurdy after he got his hand on the ball. Good coverage by Cajazzo. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9. Heider, breaks the pocket, and Zupardi just wrestles him down. Pickup of maybe a yard. It's going to be 4th and 8 at the 35. And a punting situation for Austria. Kramberger into punt. Oh, and nearly blocked, and he's knocked over. Flag flies. That's going to be a roughing penalty. Meanwhile, Brezaz breaks a couple of tackles. He's a shifty punt returner. His punt return was the play that changed this game, really. But I'm sure that there's going to be a roughing the kicker penalty, and Austria is going to keep possession down at their own end. It's Burton coming up the middle.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, number 6 on the defense.
Yeah, no question about that. Doesn't get the ball.
Automatic, first down.
Right into his foot. So that puts the ball into French territory at the 49. 1st and 10, a 15-yard penalty for roughing the kicker. And again, France sending 4 rushers, bringing a linebacker. Short pass is complete to Dieplinger for about a yard or 2. Forgeot on the tackle. Second down and 7. Hyder, incomplete. Dieplinger again, the intended receiver. That'll be a 3rd down and 7. Bob Tucker very animated on that French bench. French sideline, I should say. Draw play to Nerad, and Nerad's got some running room. Nerad's down inside the 30 and down to about the 28-yard line. Pickup of about 20 yards for him and a 1st down for Austria. And maybe they can get back in the game now. Oh, that's a nice block. Old-fashioned cross-body style. And Nerad doing a great job getting the most out of that run. 1st and 10 at the 28 for Austria. Hyder scrambling out of the pocket. Now lets it go. And Dieplinger's all alone for the touchdown. Dieplinger's all by himself in the end zone as Hyder started to scramble. Somebody left Dieplinger. He just drifted back into the end zone for the score. 28 yards. And Austria have their first touchdown of the game. Let's see if we can look downfield and see what happened in the coverage. There's Dieplinger moving inside on a shortish route and then drifted out. It could be Forgeot who should have had him. The kick is blocked. And there will be no return points. But Hyder basically started the scramble. Dieplinger came free, and Austria have a touchdown. It's 24-9. They do have a good time here in Graz. See who got the block. In the middle of the line. Looked like it might have been Kaliskan. So 24-9 now in the 4th quarter. 7:48 left to play in the game. Still lots of time. But Austria's going to need a stop. A little squib kick, looking for that empty space there, but it's taken on the short hop by Larocque. Larocque's still running, and Larocque's got the sideline. There's flags flying everywhere. Larocque is down to about the 48-yard line. But the flags were flying, and I'm sure that will be for an illegal block on the return. Well, the Austrian offensive line did their job. That pep talk they had must have been effective. Bill DeMonier.
Illegal block in the back on the return. Number 22. 10-yard
And it's against Kiernan.
Foul. First down.
So Bill's been seeing the world as he referees. A Go Global Kilimanjaro ball. Jose Reyes from the Mexican team played in that game for the Kona Deep All-Stars, the Kona Deep Universities. With Mexico against Drake University from Iowa in the U.S. It's a great game, great atmosphere. Teams did a lot of social services in the towns of Arusha and then in Moshi. And then from Moshi, they went on the Kilimanjaro climb. Both teams and their entourages climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. So a great experience for them. I just did the game and then went home, boring as I am. Did take a safari one day and saw a lot of elephants and giraffes up close and personal. Just a wonderful place. Couldn't recommend it right now. Second down. Kiernan again. Picks up about 4. It'll be a 3rd and 5.
Timeout. Team Austria.
And Austria have taken a timeout. They're second. I'm not sure why, because you don't really, when you're down as they are, you probably want to conserve your timeouts for later, knowing that you're going to have some rush. But you get a stop here, you can get the ball back. You can get within a touchdown. So it'll be, if the score stays this way, it'll be Austria against Australia. And last time I was in Austria, they were selling these very funny T-shirts with, you don't have kangaroos, you don't say mate, blah, 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 blah. It's Austria, not Australia. But people have trouble telling the two apart. Third down and 5 for France. And that one's knocked away and nearly intercepted. Neusser on the coverage. Pass was intended for Durand. Actually, Durand did a pretty decent job of breaking up the potential interception. But that brings up the punting situation for France. Brezaz will do the punting. He's angling it for the sideline to prevent a return. And it's going to be a short kick, but out of bounds and no return at the 37-yard line, which is where Austria will take over. 1st and 10 at the 37. He's a clever little player, Brezaz. Punter, kick returner, holder. Listed as a quarterback. Heider still in at quarterback for Austria, coming off the touchdown pass on the last drive. 1st and 10 for them at the 37. Looking deep for Ponce de Leon. Oh, and Forgeron made the block. It was there. And Forgeron recovered in time to knock it away. The Kangaroo made up the ground, got his hand in there, and swept it away from Ponce de Leon, or that one was 6. Second and 10. Oh, and that's complete over the middle. And a nice catch by Holzinger. 24-yard pickup to the 37-yard line and a first down for Austria. And the urgency is back in their game. So first and 10 at the 39. Hyder. Oh, the pressure's on. He comes up the middle. He's going to try to keep the ball, but he doesn't get, well, doesn't really pick up anything. Call it no gain. It'll be second and 10 at the 39. So another injury on the field. Austria. Hyder is brought down for the sack. The original sacker was Nangui, coming around, pushed him right into Mimouni. And Hyder is down and has lost 4 yards. It'll be third down and 14 at the 43. That's just a great effort by Nangui. And it was actually Kotar, stocky linebacker, who also played in NFL Europe briefly, Cedric Kotar. He's a veteran. Hyder going for all the marbles and has a receiver and overthrows Dieplinger. It was there. Dieplinger had the step, but Hyder overthrows him, leads him by too much. And that's going to bring up a fourth down and 14 at the 43. And I think this is the kind of situation where Austria may well have to go for it. No question about it. So fourth down and 14, and flags fly. Let's see what Bill's got to say.
There are no fouls on the play. We have the third and final team timeout called by
Okay,
Team
Austria have taken a timeout, and we're going to take a break. We'll be back after the break with the finish of this game. So, welcome back, and it's fourth and 14 at the 43-yard line for Austria. This is their big play of the game. The French send only 3 rushers. It's a quick out, and Dieplinger's got it. And Dieplinger's inside the 10-yard line. It's a first down for Austria. Dieplinger on the fly, just got it out quickly to him. And he ran under it and made the catch. Hyder looking that way all the time. Dieplinger had the step on Rayapin. So it's first and goal at the 9. And that's going to be caught, and again out of bounds. De Leon. Ponce de Leon. No, no, no. That's his third catch that he's made out of bounds. I'm not sure he had much choice there. Yeah, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But the foot out was down before the foot in. Second and goal at the 9. Hyder back to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to be sacked. He's going to be sacked for a loss of about 10. See where they mark it. Again, untouched off the edge comes the linebacker, Berton. They mark it at the 20, so it's third and goal at the 20. Oh, and the receiver was there and just a little bit too far for Prüller. And again, Austria is reduced to a 4th down and long to keep their game alive. It was 4th and 14 last time. They hit Dieplinger for the first down. Dorleen, the guy who plays for the Kiel Baltic Hurricanes, is injured. France, of course, those linebackers have been dropping consistently. And Austria, of course, now have no timeouts. So they need to score quickly, and then they need to stop France even more quickly. And perhaps try an onside kick before they do. That'll be an interesting debate. That's, of course, assuming they can convert a 4th and 20 or 21 is what we're seeing on the scoreboard there. They've had plenty of time to think about it now with the injury timeout. So 4th and goal, a long 20 or a short 21, depending on how you want to look at it. Can Austria make some more magic on 4th down? Hyder steps up under pressure. Touchdown! Prüller! Right down the middle. The bearded wonder makes the catch. And Austria are back in this game. Better blitz pickup. Got the side right this time. Hyder delivers that one on the money. Split the defensive backs. And Prüller makes the catch. Now they're going to go for 1, which will make it an 8-point deficit if the kick is good, which it is. So it's 24-16. We've got 3.5 minutes to play. Austria, though, have no timeouts. And they have to kick the ball off to France. Nice catch. So it's an onside attempt by the Austrians. Ball pops out loose, but France has recovered and will take over inside their own 45. French have taken their last time out, so they can't be tempted to stop the clock in the last 3.5 minutes.
Clock operator, set the game clock to 3:28. 3:28 on the game clock, please.
So this is basically time for France to make one first down. They should be able to run the clock out if they do.
8 on the game clock. 3:28.
Maybe 2 first downs, depending on how quickly they make one. So it's a big ask for the Austrian defense. They're all up near the line of scrimmage. Marceline takes an angle, and he's got a first down and then runs out of bounds to stop the clock. You're not supposed to do that, Laurent. You want to keep the clock moving. But that is a first down, first and 10 at the 42, so I take back what I said about making one first down. Watching the play clock, working the most time off it. Marceline is going to pick up about 4. That's more what you want, is right up the middle. Take as much time as you can. Don't go out of bounds and stop the clock. So the game MVP has been named as Jeremy Rabot from the French team, the wide receiver with 2 touchdowns. Kiernan plows into the line, picks up a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Looks like a first down for Kiernan. Yes, it is. And that should pretty much be the game. So what a turnaround in this game. Austria dominated the second quarter after a lackluster first quarter. It looked like they would come out and do some damage in the third, and France took the game over, basically highlighted by that punt return by Brezaz. Set up their first touchdown, and then the two long passes to Rabot made all the difference, and France have emerged winners from this game. The final score will be France 24, Austria 16. And big disappointment for the hometown fans here in Graz. So France will go on to play Germany on Sunday in the third place game in Vienna. Austria will play Australia in the seventh place game on Saturday. We'll be bringing you on Saturday the third place game, the bronze medal game between Japan and Mexico right here on Eurosport 2. And then on Sunday, the gold medal game, Canada against the United States of America, which ought to be a pretty good game. It's been a great tournament here in Graz and in Innsbruck in the opening rounds. And you can see the emotion on these players. It's Camberger, who got nailed on that big punt return, is regretting it already. I'm Mike Carlson. Thanks for watching the World Championships of American Football. Join us on the weekend for the two medal games, and watch out too for Arena League here on Eurosport. From everybody here at Eurosport and at the World Championships, thanks for watching.